Here we go. Welcome to the Visible Woman Roundtable. First time ever. And look at those women on the screen. They are my fellow sisters entrepreneurs. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for making the time to be with us today. Most of you live where I live, and in our place here, it's supposed to be a day that you spend with your family. So we're going to do this quick and you're going to go back to your families. And for those of you who are in the world, we are talking to you from Canada. Canada is still very white, snowy right now where we live. And we are so excited because in the world, it's Kindness Week coming up. And I want to thank my son who's just started a job. And at his job, they're going to be celebrating like Kindness Week like crazy. And I'm like, what are we doing at Social Media Love? We are Social Media Love. We're going to do that too. So I literally reached out, like, I think it was Saturday or Friday, to all of you. I said, we're going to go live. And look at you. You showed up. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. And if you are like the women that are going to be talking to you in a minute, you want to spread more love in this world, you can share this video because we're going to bring you so much love. Be ready. So before I introduce you to them, I want to show you this. You see, that's an emotional scale. And at the very tip here, it's what we call, hopelessness. And at the top, we have love, freedom, and highest enlightenment. Why am I showing you this? It's because this is not just woo-woo words. When we feel an emotions in our world, we feel them all. We don't say this one is bad and this one is good. We feel them all. But what's happening is that when you emit an emotion, you have like an energy field around you that kind of goes narrow or wide. So you understand now that when you are in love, everything feels possible, right? So your emotional state expand up to, I don't remember, I think it's 6 meters around you of hertz, which is the unit we use to measure energy. So this is what we're bringing today through the internet. So the internet can be amazing in many ways, but today I choose to focus that it's amazing that we can be connected all over the world as long as you have a connection. So I want to bring that to the forefront. We're so lucky to be able to talk to people from all over the world. So that for that very reason, we cannot hide. So talking about being visible, I would love to introduce you to all the beautiful faces on the screen here. So I'm going to ask all of you to unmute, say who you are, who you serve in the world, and I would love to hear from you how your definition of love has changed all over the year. So I'm going to start with my definition. I thought love was attached to a person or a thing, which was very limiting. I learned that in my 40s, right? Because love is so much beyond a person or a thing you love. It's a state of being. Whether there is someone that says they love you or not, you are love. And that's what I've learned after a century of living. So that's my transformation. Not a century, half a century. My grandmother, she's 104. She has a century. I love it. That's being live. Like, you do stuff like that. You say things like, what is she saying? Okay. Your turn, Eleanor. Who are you?
I love that. Thank you. And yes, I agree. We are love. Each person and that energy around us. And I think that's one of the things that I've learned is about the energy that we carry, the energy others carry. We are responsible for our own energy and the energy we bring into the world in every moment. So I am Eleanor Austin, and I am a LinkedIn branding coach and workshop facilitator for executives and entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I love, speaking of that idea of love, is in the work that we do, it's helping people with their journey to knowing themselves so we can turn that knowing into your brand story. And that brand story quickens or accelerates that path to trust. Like we do business with people, do business with people, and people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. So when we know ourselves and we can turn that into a story that speaks to our why, and our why speaks to our motivation, then that allows us to quicken that path to trust, because people feel like they know us, feel like they can like us. And then because they know what our intention is, our why, they also feel like, oh, that's somebody perhaps I can trust. So it's helping them turn not only their journey into themselves, into their story, but then helping them create their LinkedIn profile and LinkedIn presence and strategy out of that. And in that sense, it's that journey to themselves and creating that profile allows them to turn a first impression when somebody looks at you on LinkedIn, for instance, to turn that first impression into a lasting impression. And we want that to feel like love.
Ooh, I like that. How you twist, you make the bow at the end. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna pick on Emily because I want to make sure we have so many faces. I want to make sure everybody goes.
Okay, so I'm Emily Arsenault, and I own Dog-Eared Books in Ormocto, New Brunswick. We're a used bookstore, but we're so much more. We have over 250 local authors now, just keeps growing and growing. And we have local artists and local artisans that we sell their beautiful goods for too. Something that I've learned about love in the last maybe 5 years, I recently got my Reiki master teacher. So I also do tarot readings and Reiki at the store as well. We're just a one-stop shop, literally, for everything. Is when I learned that about, I always learned about, like, knew about the chakras, but your chakra is actually a big ball. And there's a front and a back side. And the front is where you give, and the back is where you receive. A lot of us are really good at giving love, but not everyone's good at receiving love. So when I started doing Reiki on people, your front of your chakra can be wide opened and great, and your back of the chakra is blocked because we're not, as women especially, we're not that great at receiving love sometimes. So that's something I had to learn in myself, was I'm really good at giving love, but I have to also receive love.
Oh, I got shivers, Emily. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So we're gonna go to a little bit of French. So we have a French speaker in the house. So Charlotte, introduce yourself in French and in English, because I want people to know who you are. But then for the rest, you can answer in English, in French. Oh my God, I'm getting all my words mixed. Go ahead. You need to unmute.
Eh bien, bonjour, je suis Charlotte. Donc, moi, je suis en France. Et bah, l'amour, c'est toute une histoire pour moi que j'explore récemment à travers l'art et qui, on va dire, me permet de... Enfin voilà, pour moi, l'amour, je pense, c'est quelque chose qu'on partage. C'est le partage, c'est la joie, c'est la transmission, c'est un tout. Avant, je le dissociais à effectivement ce qu'Émilie a dit, si j'ai bien compris, donner, recevoir, etc. Là, aujourd'hui, pour moi, c'est beaucoup plus global. Et le monde est plein de personnes où nous vivons énormément les uns à côté des autres. Et à travers mon art, justement, c'est ce que j'explique régulièrement. Mon but, c'est de partager de la lumière. Et qu'est-ce que la lumière, finalement? C'est un bout d'amour, et que j'ai envie de faire aller au-delà de ma personne, au-delà de mon Chartres, au-delà de ma France, partout, everywhere. Donc, quelque chose que je partage. Voilà, l'amour, pour moi, c'est quelque chose qui se partage, qui se contrôle pas, qui se mesure pas. C'est en soi, c'est naturel, c'est quelque chose qui émane de nous, c'est notre essence. En tout cas, c'est la mienne, et à travers ce que je produis, c'est vraiment cette essence-là que j'espère diffuser le plus loin possible.
Super. Alors, présente-toi. Qui es-tu, que fais-tu et qui sers-tu?
Je suis Charlotte. Mon nom d'artiste, c'est Chalove, justement, intentionnellement, de transmettre cet amour. Et donc, je crée des cadres à thème avec les chutes de vitraux de Chartres, en écrivant soit des mots avec les chutes, des mots, j'ai beaucoup de love, des bravos, beaucoup de thèmes très encourageants qui portent les belles émotions, le soutien dont on a besoin dans la vie, et aussi des petites scénettes où je crée des petits personnages qui racontent une histoire et chacun va trouver sa propre histoire dans mon histoire et on tricote tous des histoires ensemble et c'est souvent de très belles histoires.
Magnifico. So I'm just going to do a mega recap in English. Charlotte, basically her definition of love has become that you are love. And she is using her art, which is stained glasses frame that she makes out of stained glasses pieces from the Cathedral of Chartres in France. Remember, cathedrals are the oldest churches in Europe. So this is pretty cool. And yeah, that's kind of in a nutshell. So she either write words like love, kindness, or she makes little scene of a family who has a new baby or, oh, look, Charlotte is lovely. Perfect. Okay. So I love it. That is the key word of the day. So now we're going to go to the first face I see here, Tracey Waite.
Salut, salut.
Salut. I'm going to make you come a little closer and less headroom if you can.
Closer, less. I don't.
You see, we're very we show you the behind the scene because you know what we're doing after this? We repurpose every freaking piece of content. If you are a female entrepreneur, stop banging your head with your content. Use whatever you do on a daily basis and repurpose it. Yes, that's what we do. That's why I'm asking Tracey to come a little closer.
Just whatever I see seems quite close. These little phones. It's
Don't break your phone. Yeah, it's just there is a lot of room between your head and your ceiling. Maybe tilt the phone.
Tilt this way.
Yes, way better, way better. Yeah, I can take care of the rest. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Hi. I'm Tracey Waite with Exit Realty Advantage here in Fredericton, New Brunswick. I'm a realtor. I help people buy and sell real property. I help them to find homes, whether for themselves, their family, their animals, or their business or their investments. And I find I do a lot of talking, but I notice of late and how I hope to create more love and acts of kindness is people don't always know what they want, but they're excited. People love real estate. And if I am listening and hearing instead of talking, I can really hone in on what they want and what they really need and how to enable them to get it in their budget and their time frame. And it's pretty cool.
I love that perspective, Tracey. Thank you for sharing. Love it. Ingrid Mueller, who are you, who you serve, what you do, and share with us how your definition of love has transformed all over the years. If you want to, you don't have to, okay? It's just an invitation. Wait, you're muted. I need to unmute you. Wait. Okay, you can start again. Thank you.
Okay. That love is everywhere, and it also entails acceptance. So when I invite somebody into my office or into my home, I always introduce myself, and they can either introduce themselves or not. And like Tracey, I listen, right, to see what do they want. And often people will come, and because I'm an art appraiser, they have something that they think is very valuable. And that's when it gets tricky, because I can tell right away that it's probably ripped out of a calendar and been framed up. And so I have to be very gentle. And I had to work on that for a long, long time until I could, show them that they can cherish it just the same as they have all along, only like to cherish it for what it is and how they have, because it is not worth $50,000. So that's always bridging that disappointment a little bit. But for other people, it's also just to guide them. What do they need too? What do they need? Because I'm addressing something that's so abstract in their soul, right? And it's very hard for them to decide or to imagine. So I have to really wait for their love too, and it doesn't often come immediately. They're guarded when they come in, so it takes a while, but it's all encompassing.
Love it. So can you, in a nutshell, tell us who you are, what you do, and who you serve, Ingrid?
Me? I'm Ingrid Mueller. I'm an art appraiser, art consultant, and I'm also a teacher and a career builder for artists. And I've lived in many different places. I lived in Germany, in Freiburg, which is a really beautiful city, for 20 years. It's right where the Swiss and the French border is, that triangle. And they're known for their culinary delights, which I miss. And I was raised in Ontario, went to different universities, have a whole slew of degrees. So I'm kind of a perennial, let's do something else, but I'll keep a little bit of that.
I love how you describe it.
And art has always been part of my life. Like, I would ask my mother to bake squares and cookies so I could sell them to buy a piece of art in high school. And my father used to be very upset. You can get a car. Why are you buying art? And then the first piece I bought was a monotype by Guido Molinari. And at that time it was $200, which was a lot of money. And I sold it about 6 years later so that I could take a workshop in Greece, and I sold it for over 10,000. And that's how I got kind of the taste of the real love of art, that it can function as currency too. That it wasn't only something for me to take and admire or go to a museum and admire, but it can go further.
I love those stories. Thank you, Ingrid.
You're welcome.
I love it. I would love for maybe any of you on the screen to share a story about how did you end up doing what you're doing?
Well, I'll jump in. For me, there are various layers, but the quickest story, I guess, is that what I do now is an extension of what I've always done in my career. So I first started as a journalist. So that's all about storytelling. Then I went into marketing, and that's selling for a very specific reason. And so now I help people tell their own stories and market themselves on LinkedIn. And so it is a little bit of what seems like a bit of a natural progression. Just the platform is different. But if I go back to story's always been part of my life. Back to when I was 4 and my father passed away. And I learned who he was through other people's stories. So stories are very powerful way of remembering somebody or something. And so that's what I love doing, is helping people discover that they too have a story. people don't think they have a story. Everyone has a story, and no one has your story. So that's been my progression. And I only really understood that when I started connecting the dots of my life backwards. I think it was maybe even Steve Jobs that said, we can't connect the dots forward, it's only backward. And so I've done that for myself and love helping others with their story by connecting their dots.
Yeah, and that's what I love about getting old, because we have so many dots, right? But
some of us have more dots than others.
No, but like the more I grow, the more I look back and I'm like, that's why that happened like 30 gazillion years ago. Like, and so this is why when at the point of time we are currently, we cannot seek the next step from that place because it's not supposed to make sense today. Right? So whatever we have in our heart, and that's the work we do through business, right? The next leap probably doesn't make sense as of today, but it feels so natural for your heart that you got to trust and surrender to the unknown. And that's the beauty of life. That's what is living or surviving. That's either or, I think, right? Okay.
Amazing.
Who else wants to share a story that explain why every morning you wake up and help those clients?
I can share. In a funny nutshell, the reason I own my own business is because I have authority issues. And I don't like working for other people. And I know and love myself enough that I followed that path of not wanting a boss. But seriously, what happened was I was working for somebody else and it was a great job. But me and my husband took a trip to Mexico, and as I was flying home, I was like, oh, I can't wait to get home. I love my family. I love my house. I love all of these different aspects. But I was like, I don't really love what I'm doing as a career. So when I got home, I quit. And within a month, I had opened Dog-Eared Books. And it was in books is because I've always had tons and tons of books. We're a family of readers. My grandmother actually worked downtown Fredericton at Westminster Books for pretty much my whole life until she retired. And there was a period of time when I would go to work with her and they would put me in the back ripping the covers off of books. So books have always just been a huge part of my life.
I love stories. Can you raise your hand if you imagine little Emily in the back room reading her books when she was describing? Like, I could see you there. I love it. So this is a good example that you may not remember Emily's name or Eleanor's name from the show today, but you're going to remember the stories they shared, like Ingrid with the cookies buying ours, Eleanor with her dad, learning her dad through others, Emily like in the back room with the grandmother, right? I just love. Anyone else wants to share a story of how they fall in the soup, as we say in French?
En français?
Bien sûr, en français. Comment t'es tombée dans la soupe?
Traduit?
Oh, okay. Je demandais comment
Tu
t'es tombée
m'entends?
dans la soupe. Oui, comment t'es tombée dans
Oula,
la soupe?
ouais. Moi,
Oh, we don't hear? Oh,
ouais,
it glitches.
Oui. Moi, c'est on va dire le bonheur d'avoir connu un burn-out. On va le tourner de manière positive. Le mix entre 25 ans de salariat qui m'a fait arriver au burn-out et qui m'a permis, c'est pour ça que je parle de bonheur, d'aller découvrir qui j'étais et qu'est-ce que j'avais envie de vraiment faire de moi, comment me réinventer pour vivre dans la joie. Et je suis allée rechercher justement cette petite Charlotte de petit enfant qui ça coupe, qui aimait beaucoup créer. Voilà, j'ai beaucoup dessiné quand j'étais petite, écrire des poèmes, voilà, créer plein de choses. Et dans le coup, à travers, on va dire, le travail que j'ai fait sur moi pendant ces 5 ans de burn-out, et c'est ressorti énormément. Et comme j'ai une très belle cathédrale à Chartres, j'allais souvent m'inspirer à la cathédrale. Et après la cathédrale, j'allais à la galerie du vitrail qui est juste à côté. Et je suis tombée sur les chutes de vitraux. Et là, j'ai fait « Waouh, c'est trop beau ça! Je vais en faire quelque chose. » Et aujourd'hui, j'en fais de très jolis cadres. Voilà mon histoire.
I love it. Okay, I'm going to recap this. So, Charlotte used to work for large companies in the world of logistics in France, 25 years of that, burnout. And from that's how she reconnected with herself. And literally, she says she reconnected with the little Charlotte who used to love and spend a lot of time drawing, writing poems, creating, right? So, she did the inner work of that, and she used to go to, or she still does, goes to the cathedral for inspiration. Like if you've never been to the Chartres Cathedral, it's whatever you believe, you don't have to believe anything, you just get in and you're like, ooh, okay. And then beside the cathedral there is a little store, like a stained glass store. So once she went in, and then she saw that they were selling like dead ends of stained glasses. So she said, oh my God, I can do something with this. And now she has a full business on it. She's like selling it everywhere around her neighborhoods and the city, and now in Paris, I think soon. Okay, so that's her story. Thank you, Charlotte. Okay, can you mute? We hear you. Yeah, great. Anyone else? Tracey, do you want to share?
I can try to make this succinct. I was living in Toronto. Me and Paul both were in Toronto, and a friend of mine started a new company here in New Brunswick, and he called me up and he's like, move back to New Brunswick and you can work for me at my new business. So we did. But within the year, he had met someone online who lived in the States, fell in love, packed up his business and left. So I'm like, well, now what am I going to do? So another friend had mentioned that someone that she had worked for before, he was an entrepreneur, Austin Drisdale, and that he had recently started selling real estate and that he was really enjoying it and that I should talk to him. And I thought it was totally bizarre because, one, I'm really shy. I was not interested in sales, and we had known someone else years ago that had sold real estate and said that it was awful and cutthroat. And here my friend who was part of this said, go talk to him. Anyway, I went and spoke with Austin, and he kind of took me under his wing, and I hung out with him for a little bit, just, shadowing a realtor. And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, sure, I can do this. And he was working for Exit. Exit was a brand new company at the time, just fresh. And so they were totally there was 5 people working there, and they were so excited and optimistic. And it was a Canadian company. And here I am, still there. It was awesome.
I love those stories. Thank you so much for sharing the stories, because this is everything. This is everything. It's not just a business that we open. It's a season of life that brought us there. And it's like a good cheese or a good wine. It's a maturity of our journey on earth. So thank you for sharing those. I want to move on and go, we have to go, but I want to ask you these questions. What do you love the most about the type of clients you love to work with? And I would love for you to kind of express what makes a relationship with a client like a love story, in a sense that this is, you go to bed at night and you're like, this is what I'm meant for. Sometimes, I'm sure I'm going to do that after this live. I'm going to go to Michelle and say, remind me on days that I want to shut down everything, that I love what I do. They're amazing. Look at the shining. We're together online. We're making an impact. Right? So I would love to hear from you. I'm just declaring my love to you, by the way.
Well, for me, I have had that day where I thought, yes, this is why I do what I do, and this is why I continue to do what I do. And for me, I would have said that this work has become my purpose. And my purpose, in a sense, is helping other people kind of discern their purpose, because it's very deep work. And so it's that kind of a client that I love to work with, who's willing to tell those stories, think back through their lives. And the beauty of it is when we do stories that are called your stories of pride. And these are moments in your life when you felt really alive. You felt like you were you, and you felt really proud of what you did. And what's remarkable is that they then start to feel better about themselves. And also, in a sense, when we do these stories together, they see that had they not been there, that beautiful thing may not have happened. Whatever it was they contributed to, or whatever it was that they did. And so it helps see the beauty in themselves. And so for me, I guess I feel that I am serving perhaps the calling or the purpose that I have, in a sense. It can go even deeper than that. But that is the beauty of those days. Like, the clients that I love to work with are the ones who are willing to explore, and they are perhaps at a bit of a transition in their own life. And so they are reflective but wanting to move forward and to become relevant to who it is that they want to serve. So it's finding that intersection between who they are, what they do, and who they serve. What is that through line of relevance? And so helping them see themselves is so beautiful. But that's not why they come to me necessarily. Like, some do say, oh, I want to know my story. But really what they want to do is, for entrepreneurs especially, they want to be able to leverage the power of LinkedIn as a platform to grow their business. So that's kind of where we start, but we go way deeper, and I love it. And you're on mute too now.
Yes. I was like, I can feel it. Thank you, Eleanor. Who else wants to share their love relationship with the clients that they love working with? And how does that manifest in your relationship at work or serving them?
I'll share. Because we're a brick and mortar store, and we're in a huge new space now, and I bought couches and love seats and lots of comfy chairs, people have just been hanging out at the store for sometimes hours on end, which is it's become a sanctuary. The store was always a sanctuary, but now we actually have the couches and the chairs for everybody to chill in. We have so many people that come in that just never want to leave. So that's one aspect. But because I have so many different things going on, when we did our human design, it told me my purpose was to bring people together. Like, that's my purpose, is to bring Angelique and Eleanor together. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like I accidentally kind of did that with the store without even knowing that was what it was, kind of with like all my local authors. Like, I have given them a home to sell their books, and all my artists and everybody that comes into the store, especially, like, we just had a medium, Danielle Dontremont, come to the store, and I do those kind of events because it brings the right people to her business too. Sometimes it's not just about like me, it's about bringing people together in the community.
I love it. And it's so that I'm lucky to be a neighbor of you, Emily, and it is so that, and you're so good at this. I love that the way you shared it is so cool. So cool. Thank you. Anyone else wants to share their love story with their favorite clients or the type of clients they want to bring in more because it really suits your mission, your purpose?
Okay, I try. Alors, il y a beaucoup de points. Moi, ce qui m'excite, je dirais le plus, que je trouve le plus merveilleux, c'est justement le partage de cette même énergie. En général, les gens qui viennent à mon stand, ils ont senti quelque chose et je dis souvent, voilà, je suis là pour vendre, mais je suis avant tout là pour faire découvrir ma passion et comment je travaille. Et il y a cet échange qui est juste merveilleux et qui fait que on est sur la même longueur d'onde et ça, c'est quelque chose qui est vraiment précieux. Et dans le coup, bah, ça amène cette joie qui est complètement et ce partage qui reflète exactement ce que je fais dans mon travail. Donc, en fait, on va créer une relation, je remarque, de confiance parce que souvent, ça mène à des commandes. Ils n'achètent pas forcément ce que je fais. Ça leur donne une idée dans la tête et ils voient la scène avec les gens à qui ils ont envie d'offrir ce partage, cette lumière. Et là commence vraiment une relation de confiance. En plus, ils me racontent des choses personnelles. Et quand ils se livrent, de plus en plus, c'est juste délicieux parce que moi, ça me tisse l'histoire. Enfin, voilà, quand je parle de tricoter des histoires, c'est vraiment ça. Et les plus beaux, on va dire, les plus beaux témoignages, c'est quand on a un retour et que ça a eu l'effet escompté, qu'il y avait la larmichette, c'était vraiment quelque chose qui a plu à la personne. C'est que moi, j'ai su capter leur ressenti et eux, ils ont su capter chez moi ce qui allait être profond. Et dans le coup, ça fait vraiment du sens. Et c'est vraiment la partie la plus belle pour moi. C'est ce partage, cette confiance et qui est juste merveilleuse. Et j'adore ce type de relation.
All right. So I'm going to share. Thank you. Charlotte is saying that what she loved the most in her relationship with her clients is the kind of synergy that happens when they meet first. So she does a lot of markets, trade shows and stuff like that. So the first interactions, like it's at the energy level, she says, and then people feel trust. Then they start sharing family or pieces of their life to her. And then suddenly they look at her art and then now they want to buy from her. And because they know that she's going to take their story and translate it into whatever she does. And then the magic happens because the day that they take the gift it to the person, it's exactly meeting everybody at the energy, emotional state that was perceived the very first time. So it's like a full circle. So that's magic. I call this magic. Thank you, Shasha. Okay. By the way, if you don't know, Charlotte is my sister. So, okay. Who else wants to share their love story with their favorite clients, the way they love working with their clients? Anyone else? Okay. So, I'm going to wrap it up for all of you. But I want you to be actually now asking a question. So I would love for any of you to ask whatever question you have, maybe to any of you within yourself that we can share with the public and the audience. Do you have any question that is you feel in your heart that you want to ask to us? And then we can have one person or two answering, and then we can move to the next person with the next question, and then we'll wrap it up. Don't let me wrap up before our act of kindness thing, okay? Okay, who has a question? For someone. It's going to be easier if you name the person so that we have that much time left.
I'm curious with Ingrid, with your art appraisals, how does somebody bring their art to you, or what are the reasons that people are selling their art? What's the biggest amount anyone's, the biggest amount you've seen that you've appraised? And what's the smallest amount? I'm just thinking, like, if I were to bring my art to you, what would be the process, and what's too small, and what is like the the most expensive that you've seen, or the most rare, perhaps?
First of all, I usually go to them. The first contact might happen here, and then I do a walkthrough at their home because their art is usually hanging in different places. And then if we have an agreement that I'm going to do it, I have to start taking pictures and researching. And the top piece that I ever appraised was a Jack Bush, and it was $410,000. So, and he was from the group of 11 in Toronto. So that was kind of a reaction to the group of 7. So these people had no idea that they had this, they had inherited it. Yeah. And she wanted to bring it to me in the secondary market. And I said, you would so regret that. So I think they eventually did sell it at auction, but that's usually the prices are around between $5,000 and $20,000, depending. But there's a lot of information, auction information, things like that. But it's often really interesting for the people to learn about the artists and how they lived and where they're from, and did they belong to a certain group, where did they study, and so it's interesting for me to see their reactions too. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Ingrid. Okay, anyone has a question for one of us? You're becoming the co-host. Are you talking, Tracey? I saw you talking. No? Okay. Okay. Just want to make sure. No question? No? All right. So I have a question to wrap it up. Number one, I want to acknowledge all of you watching the replays. I just want to bring to your attention that when we say, creating content for our businesses, it doesn't have to be something painful. It can be something very social. And more than social, it can be something that really reflects your personality. So my personality as the head of Social Media Love, I'm a social bird. I love hanging out. I love eating. I love drinking. And I love having conversation. So what is my most natural way for me to talk to you about Social Media Love and the work we do? There are many ways, right? We do retreats where we actually really eat and drink. But today, what was the simplest way, the easiest way for me to introduce you to the most magnificent, courageous, brave women entrepreneurs that I get to support every day? It was doing a live. And so my invitation for all of you is to think through who you are, what you really love, because remember, it's about love, right? And it's not a joke. The moment you are very aware what you love the most, double down on that, because that will make the work of marketing and sales and delivering services or things, products, an enjoyable thing, right? Remember, we opened business because we wanted to create freedom. We wanted for Emily not have a boss, like whatever was the reason, it was a reason of freedom, right? There was some part of freedom behind this. So that's a reflection I want to bring to you. And the other thing I wanted to say is that this week, when we say like kindness, it's not about people pleasing. Okay, this is a behavior, adaptive behavior to shrink, right? People pleasing. It doesn't mean that kindness is not about people pleasing. It's not about lowering your standards or ignoring your own boundaries, right? it's really about how do I still stay in my full power, trust, anchored self, and in your performance, because you are performant entrepreneurs, all of you with a lot of experience. How do I stay in this and bring even more kindness without being a people pleaser? So that's why my intention here, it was like I told everybody, if there is someone that you consider an act of kindness and you want to share with us, if it's a thing that is something you want to put in the comments, all of you can go back after the live and put it in the comment. But if you want to express it, I would love to hear it. I'm going to start with mine. So my act of kindness to all of you, I told you, it was to put you in touch with these incredible women who are here on the screen. I'm going to make sure that you are tagged so that you can go and say hello to them in the DMs, have conversation together with no expectation. What could happen? We don't know. Just go and say hi if you enjoy our conversation. And as always, I gift every week a spot for visibility audits that are on me. So I want to, if you're watching this and you want a visibility audit, you reach out to me in the DM and you can put audit, and I reach out to you and we'll book a time together, 20 minutes usually, that's where we start, and then we'll do a visibility audit together. So that's my way of expressing my kindness to the world of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs. I'll leave it to you, ladies on the screen, if you want to unmute and share if there is anything you want to add there.
Well, that's a beautiful gift, Angelique. And what I would like to do, it's inspired me to think about, in terms of being a personal branding coach on LinkedIn specifically, one of the elements that is incredibly important is your headline, because that every time you comment on a post, the first few words of your headline appear. So it's a great way for people to get to know you just as you engage naturally. And also on your LinkedIn profile, of course, it is it's like if you're the cover story of a magazine, it is your headline. And so your headline is like your mini brand statement. And I have a training and a workbook that I'm happy to share. So that is my gift, is a video training and a workbook that goes with it. So you can create your standout headline for your LinkedIn profile. So you can stand out from everyone else who does something similar to what you do.
Love it. So make sure, Eleanor, when we're finished, that you put it in the comments. So all of you watching the replay, you'll check the comments on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. You'll have 3 places, ladies, to go and paste whatever you want to paste so that people can reach out to you in a way that is easy. Okay? That's awesome.
Okay, I have something too. And I kind of went back and forth on this. I was going to do like a giveaway, but then I decided that love shouldn't be scarce. So I don't want to choose just one winner. So I'm as a thank you and for Kindness Week, I'm going to be giving away anybody who they have to go on my Facebook page, which is Dog Eared Books on Facebook, or NB Dog Eared Books on Instagram. Just send a private message saying love, and what I'm going to be giving away is a little love note from the universe. So I love doing tarot readings. So everybody will get one card chosen for them with a tiny little message, just a love note from the universe.
I love it. So make sure you put your link to your accounts in the comments as well. Thank you, Emily. Is there anyone who wants to share something?
Moi, je veux bien. Émilie m'a donné une idée en plus. Thank you, Emily. You gave me an idea. Moi, je proposais d'offrir la personnalisation à 50%. Donc, tu me commandes. C'est la fête des grands-mères le 1er mars. Donc, si tu as envie les grands-mères, c'est tout plein d'amour et on a toujours envie de leur dire merci, on a toujours envie de leur faire des gros câlins parce qu'ils sont souvent là pour nos loulous, pour ceux qu'on a la chance d'en avoir. Et donc, si tu as envie de personnaliser un cadge, j'offre la personnalisation à 50%. Donc, au lieu de 20 €, je propose 10 €. Et c'est une bonne idée ce qu'Émilie a dit, si j'ai bien compris. Tu vas sur ma page Facebook ou Instagram ou mon LinkedIn. Et puis, tu me mets le mot love ou grand-mama ou grandmother ou mamie. Voilà. Et ce sera avec grand plaisir. Et merci de vous avoir eu et pour ce beau moment tous ensemble. With love.
Okay, I'm gonna recap. Okay, so Charlotte is providing. So in France, March 1st is the day for grandmothers. So she is offering a 50% discount on her frames for whoever wants to do a personalized frame for their grandmother. Now, Charlotte, you tell me if I'm right to say this, but it's going to be said, even if there is no grandmother day in Canada, if you want, you could send it to Canada, could you? Yeah? Okay. Okay. So, because we don't have that in Canada. We don't have well, I don't think we do, grandmother. We do? Tell me, Emily.
We do. I just don't know if it's March 1st.
Okay.
We definitely do though, because we celebrate it.
I didn't know. Okay. So it works for Canada too then. Maybe not March 1st.
It's, Angélique, it's half price for the personalization and not on the frame. Huh?
Yeah. So that means that you take you pay the frame, but if you want made for you, you have 50% off on that side of the price. You'll tell them, just reach out to Charlotte. She'll explain. Okay. So make sure, Charlotte, that you put the link to your Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook profile in the comments of the 3 platforms where we're live, okay? So that it's easy for people to reach out. All right.
With the word love or grandmother.
Yeah, just pick, I would say, be clear on the words, and that's more marketing.
Love.
Let's make it easy. It's all about ease. Yes, love. Perfect is the word. Anyone else wants to pitch in? Okay. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Congratulations to all of you. I think for some of you, it was the first time that you were doing a live like this, like a collective live. We at Social Media Love, whenever we finish a session together, we wrap up with the word of the day. So I'm going to do the popcorn sessions. Everybody unmutes and you popcorn. What is the ending word for each of you?
Courage.
Community.
Congrats.
For me, one of the things that comes to mind, of course, is kindness, but also it's been revelatory because I've loved getting to know my own community of Social Media Love so much better. So I guess I'll go with revelatory. And on that note, I will reveal that in Canada, Grandmother's Day is actually Sunday, September 13th. So you have a little bit of time.
We have time. Thank you. Okay. For me, I'm going to say blessings. Who else did we? Ingrid, do you have a word to close?
For me, it was gratitude.
Beautiful. Well, ladies, stay backstage with me. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to pause, terminer le stream. If you're watching the replay, we would love to hear what you received, what you took with you, because it's more fun when we hear from you all the time. It's always more fun. And reach out. So we're going to give us some time, but we're going to put the links today to how to reach for Emily, Charlotte, Tracey, Ingrid, and Eleanor. Okay? Ciao, ciao.